fractions with the same and different denominators. Let's first take a look at how we can add and subtract fractions that have the same denominators. So there's some steps to keep in mind. First, we want to keep the denominators the same. We want them to have the same amount of parts. Then we can add or subtract just those numerators. We do not add or subtract the denominators. Then the third step is to simplify if that's possible. So let's take a look at our first example. We have 2/8 plus 4/8. So first thing I notice is that my denominators are the same. This means they each have an equal amount of parts. My numerators are different. I have a 2 and a 4. So again, when my denominators are the same, I just need to add my numerators. So 2 plus 4. Well, 2 plus 4 is 6. So my answer is 6/8. But remember, it's asking us to simplify if it's possible. So remember that simplifying a fraction is just showing those numbers in lowest terms. It's still going to be the same amount. So how can I do that? Through division. Since those are both even numbers, 6 and 8, I know that I can divide by 2. And sometimes that is the simplest thing to start with, is dividing by 2. So if I divide 8 by 2 and 6 by 2, remember our rule, what I do on the top, I must do on the bottom, vice versa. I know that 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 6 divided by 2, good, 3. So 6/8 and 3/4 are equivalent. They're the same amount. It's just that 3/4 is the simplified version of 6/8. We can't get any smaller numbers than that. So both of these answers are correct, but if you are asked to simplify, we want to reduce our fraction to lowest terms. Let's take a look at what this looks like as a model. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. And I'm going to use the fraction 6/8. Because when we added, we had 6/8. So I know that my denominator is how many parts I should have in this whole entire rectangle. And it's an even number, so I'm going to first break it in half, and then I'm going to break it into even smaller parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I had 2, and then I'm adding on 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I can see altogether I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8 parts. Let's take a look at this on a number line. These are both proper fractions, so I know that my number line can be labeled between 0 and 1. I'm also going to label that halfway between 0 and 1, 1/2. Okay. Just like my model, I know that I need to break it up into 8 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So remember that one whole is the same thing as having 8 out of 8 parts. And then 1/2 is the same thing as having 4 out of 8 parts, exactly half my denominator. Okay, so let's find 2/8. So 1/8, 2/8. Then we're adding on 4 more 8s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I label my number line, I can see that I landed right where 6/8 is. Now let's take a look at when we're subtracting. So the first thing I notice, my denominators are the same. I'm going to keep my denominator at 12. Then I have 9 minus 4. I'm going to subtract those numerators. Well, 9 minus 4 is 5. So it's very similar to when we're adding. If our denominators are the same, we are just going to work with those numerators. Now, I cannot simplify 5/12. If I thought about division, I know that 12 cannot be divided evenly by 5. So this would be my lowest terms or my simplified version. Let's take a look at a model as well as a number line for this one next. So I'm going to draw the model. Here's my rectangle. I'm going to break it into 12 parts. Again, this is an even number, so I can find that 1/2 and then break it up into smaller parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want to try to make these as even as possible. Fair shares. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. These would be a 6 bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I like to check. All right, so remember that we are subtracting. Well, we started with 9. So if I shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I started with 9 out of those 12 parts, but I'm subtracting. I'm taking away. So what I can do on my model is cross off 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I can count what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 out of those 12 parts left. Okay, a number line. It's a proper fraction. I know it's going to be between 0 and 1 whole. It's an even number, so I can find that 1/2 mark, and then think about what these mean. This should be 1 whole, sorry. All right, so we know that 1 whole is the same thing as having 12 out of 12 parts, and 1/2 is exactly the same as having 6 out of 12 parts, half of my denominator. I want to break this up into 12 parts, so that means between 0 and 1, just like my model. I'm going to break it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So let's find 9/12. Well, I know right here halfway is 6 out of those 12 parts, so let's continue counting on. We have 7/12, 8/12, and 9/12. So I'm going to plot that point. That's 9/12 right there. Now remember, we're taking away. So instead of counting up my number line, I'm going to take those jumps backwards. 4 jumps backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. And if I label my number line, I can see that right here is 5/12, just like our answer. All right, pause this video as you need to. We're going to get ready to move on to what happens when we have different denominators. So different denominators. Now, when we have different denominators, we can't just add those numerators because these are different sized parts. It wouldn't be very fair if I gave someone 2 out of something that was cut into 3 parts. Let's say this was a pan of brownies. Those would be 3 very large slices of brownies, and that person would have eaten 2 of those, compared to if that same size pan of brownies was cut into 5 parts, but I only ate 2. So we can't just add these numerators. So there's an extra step that we have to do when we're working with fractions that do not have the same denominator. We have to first find that lowest common denominator, then rewrite those fractions as equivalent fractions. We want them to have the same denominator. Then we can add or subtract and simplify if possible. All right, so let's take a look at this first one. We have 2/3, 2/5. So thinking back about finding lowest common denominator. When we find the lowest common denominator, the first thing that we should do is list out the multiples of our denominators. We want to list out the multiples of the 3 and the 5, not the numerators, just the denominators. So I'm going to do that over here to the side. I have 3 and 5. I'm going to make myself a little chart. So when we're working with multiples, we're skip counting. I'm going to skip count by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Now I can keep going, but I like to start with listing just the first 5 multiples. Then if I need to keep going, I will. So let's do this first 5 multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I already see the number that they have in common. So now that we listed the multiples, we're going to find the number, the smallest number, or that first number they both have that is the same. And in this case, it is 15. So what I need to do is I need to change these fractions into equivalent fractions where they both have the denominator of 15. So let's do 2/3 first. Okay, so up here to the side, I'm going to do 2/3. I want it to have the denominator of 15. Well, making an equivalent fraction. 3 times something is 15. 3 times 5 is 15. What I do on the bottom, I must do on the top. 2 times 5 is 10. Do the same thing with 2/5. I want it to have an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 15. 5 times the number is 15. 5 times 3 is 15. So I must also multiply by 3 on the top. 2 times 3, 6. So now I have both of those fractions turned into equivalent fractions with a denominator of 15. So 2/3 was 10/15, and I'm adding 2/5, which we found is the equivalent of 6/15. So now they have the same denominators, I can just add the numerators. Well, 10 plus 6 is 16, and I'm keeping that denominator 15. But am I done? I notice that I have an improper fraction. So that means I can simplify. I can turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. So I know that 15/15 is the same thing as 1 whole. And if I have 15/15 plus one more 15ths is 16/15. So simplified, it shows the mixed number as 1 and 1/15. So both of these are the same amount. They're both correct answers. They're just shown differently. All right, last, let's take a look at our subtraction. So just like we did for the first one, we wanted to list out the multiples of 8 and 4. I notice my denominators are this different. So 8 and 4. Well, if I think about it, I know that the first multiple of 8 is 8. And the second multiple of 4 is 8. So these both have a common number already, 8. So that means I can keep 5/8 the same. I don't have to make it an equivalent fraction because it already has the denominator of 8. But I do have to change 1/4. Well, I know that 4 times 2 is 8. And if I multiply by 2 on the bottom, I also have to do the same thing on top. So 1/4 is the equivalent of 2/8. Now I can subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3/8. And I can't simplify that anymore. So 3/8 is our final answer.